Hey everyone, welcome to another deep dive. Today we're going to be talking about dating apps.
All right.
Yeah, dating apps, everyone seems to be using them these days.
It's true.
It really makes you wonder how people actually find love in this crazy digital age, right?
Yeah, I mean, think about it. It wasn't that long ago that meeting someone organically was the norm.
Totally.
Bumping into them at a coffee shop or being introduced through friends. Now it seems like everyone's swiping left and right on their phones.
Yeah. And we're going to be taking a deep dive into a script called Love in the Time of Algorithms.
Catchy title.
I know, right? And the script is really interesting. It's like a guide to navigating the crazy world of dating apps. So whether you're a seasoned pro or a complete newbie or you just find this whole thing fascinating.
Yeah, like a cultural phenomenon.
Exactly. You're going to get a lot out of this deep dive.
All right, let's jump in. I'm curious, what are some of the biggest changes you've noticed in the dating scene with the rise of these apps?
Well, you hit on one of them, right? It's like meeting organically is becoming a thing of the past.
Right.
Almost like it's something out of like an old movie or something.
Yeah, like a vintage rom-com.
Exactly. And the script actually jokes about how Netflix and chill culture might be a factor in this shift.
Haha, interesting. There's definitely a shift towards more casual dating.
Yeah. But on a more serious note, the script also talks about the downsides of dating apps.
The dark side of swiping, so to speak.
Exactly, like swiping fatigue. It's like when you get overwhelmed by just how many profiles there are.
I get it. It can feel like a never-ending stream of faces.
Right. And then there's ghosting.
Ugh, ghosting.
I know. It's like the ultimate digital diss. 1 minute you're chatting and the next, poof, they vanish into thin air.
And it can be so disheartening, especially when you've invested time and energy getting to know someone.
Absolutely. And it makes you wonder, why do people even bother with dating apps if they're just going to ghost?
Well, I think it comes down to a few things. For some, it's the fear of confrontation. It's easier to just disappear than to have that awkward conversation about not being interested.
That makes sense.
And then there's the paradox of choice. With so many options at their fingertips, some people find it hard to commit to just one person.
Hmm. Yeah, I can see that. But I guess the real question is, how do we navigate this digital dating landscape and actually find real connections?
Well, the script emphasizes that it all starts with a strong profile.
Oh, definitely. Your profile's like your first impression, right?
Exactly. It's your digital billboard.
The script even calls it a mini billboard.
Aha, yeah. A mini billboard for your personality.
But seriously, how do you create a profile that stands out from the crowd and attracts the right kind of attention?
Well, the script has some great tips. First and foremost, ditch those overly posed photos.
Yeah, the ones where it's clear you're trying too hard.
Exactly. People want to see the real you, not some airbrushed Instagram perfect version.
Agreed. I think authenticity is so important. And what about the bio? I feel like that's where a lot of people struggle.
Oh, absolutely. The bio is your chance to showcase your personality and interests in a concise and engaging way.
And the script says to avoid cliches, like living life to the fullest, right?
Yeah, those kinds of phrases are so overused that they've lost all meaning. People want to see something unique, something that gives them a glimpse into who you really are.
Right. Like a snapshot of your soul.
Aha, exactly. Your soul, but in 100 words or less.
All right, so you've created your authentic profile. Now what? It's time for the swiping game.
The swiping game. And I'm sure a lot of people wonder, should you just swipe right on everyone?
Yeah, cast a wide net. Is that a good strategy?
Well, the script actually suggests a more strategic approach.
Really?
Yeah, it encourages people to be more selective and actually take the time to read profiles and look for shared interests and values.
That's a good point. I can see how that would make the whole process less overwhelming.
Exactly. It's about quality over quantity.
Right, but isn't there a risk of being too selective and missing out on potential matches?
That's a valid concern. I think it's about finding that balance.
Like being discerning but not too picky.
Exactly. You want to be open to possibilities, but also stay true to what you're looking for.
So let's say you've swiped right and you get a match. What's the best way to start a conversation? Any tips from the script?
Oh, definitely. The script is very clear about avoiding generic greetings like, hey, or what's up.
Yeah, those are pretty boring.
They can come across as lazy or uninspired. It's much better to put in a bit more effort.
Like, how?
Well, you could comment on something specific from their profile, something that caught your eye.
I like that.
Or you could ask a question related to a shared interest. It shows you've actually taken the time to read their profile and are genuinely interested in getting to know them.
Makes sense. It's like showing that you've done your homework.
Exactly, and it can lead to a much more engaging and meaningful conversation.
So let's talk about something that no one really wants to talk about, but it's a reality of dating apps. Ghosting.
Ugh, yeah. The dreaded ghosting.
It's like the digital equivalent of standing someone up on a date.
It can feel that way, for sure.
And it seems almost inevitable in this day and age. But the script does offer some comfort, reminding us that ghosting isn't always personal.
Yeah, sometimes people ghost for reasons that have nothing to do with you.
It could be anything. Maybe they met someone else, or maybe they just got scared and didn't know how to handle the situation.
Or maybe they just got busy with life. You never really know.
True, but knowing that it's not always personal, hopefully helps soften the blow a little.
Absolutely. And I think it's important to remember that everyone is navigating this digital dating world in their own way, and sometimes people make choices that aren't necessarily a reflection of your worth.
So how do we sum up this whole dating app phenomenon? Are they good, bad, a necessary evil?
Well, I think the script sums it up perfectly by saying that dating apps are a tool, not a magic solution.
That's a good way to put it. Like a hammer, it can be used to build something great, or it can be misused.
Exactly. It all depends on how you use it. These apps offer a new avenue to meet people, but they don't guarantee a fairy tale ending.
So it's important to manage expectations, stay true to yourself, and approach the whole thing with a healthy dose of patience and a sense of humor.
Exactly. And as you embark on your own dating app journey, I'll leave you with a final thought. Do you think these apps ultimately broaden our social circles, connecting us with people we might never meet otherwise?
Hmm, that's an interesting question.
Or do you think they make it harder to form genuine connections in a world of carefully curated online personas?
That's a great question, and I guess the answer really depends on the individual and how they choose to use these apps.
It certainly gives us a lot to think about.
It does. Well, that's our deep dive into the world of dating apps. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next time.
See you then.